Hello, my name's Holly and welcome to Ocean Mind. This is an advanced Power Vinyasa class aiming to energise, inspire and transform, so hopefully you'll feel sort of nice and heated and fired up. We're really focusing on building strength, focusing on technique so that we can have a safe practice. And yeah, hopefully you'll have a chance to maybe explore some more challenging postures in a safe and supportive class. So I always kind of begin with bringing an intention to focus your practice on how present you are, and that's how you can kind of measure your practice. So try not to focus on the shapes that you're making or how long you hold a particular balance for. Think about the mental benefits and where you're at in your mind. So trying to keep yourself present on your mat, focused on your practice, doing everything with kind thoughts and a quiet mind. Okay, we'll rest the hands into the knees. Sit slightly forward so that you can feel the sitting bones just underneath you. And there's a gentle lift in your posture, and then we relax the shoulders down the back. Try to intentionally allow the legs to just relax where they are. And if you're finding it hard to relax your hips or to sit tall in your posture, you can place a small block or cushion just underneath the bottom. The chin drops a little bit down so that you can extend and lengthen the back of your neck. Take a nice deep inhale, breathing into the belly. As you exhale, softly close the eyes. Begin to focus the mind and recognize how you're feeling today. Thinking about whether you're carrying any worries, stress or frustrations. Not trying to get caught up in any stories or reasons behind the feeling, just acknowledging the emotions you have at the moment. Bringing awareness into the mind and simply being with yourself and observing yourself. And maybe starting to focus on your physical body, scanning up and down the body, just trying to find any areas of tension you might be holding. Breathing into those areas, becoming aware and in tune with yourself and what you need from your practice today. We're going to come into our breathing exercise. We're going to practice our alternate nostril breathing. So keeping the eyes closed, or if you want to watch the demonstration first, then you can open the eyes. Keeping the left hand softly rested on the left knee, bring the right hand up toward the nose. The ring finger is resting over the left side and the thumb is resting over the right nostril. The middle and index fingers are just resting toward the top of the nose. Pressing down on the left nostril and leaving the right nostril open. Just checking through the body that you're still relaxed across your chest, your shoulders, your legs. And then just checking in that you're breathing into the belly. As you inhale, the stomach expands. As you exhale, the stomach contracts. Now completely exhale the breath. And inhale through your right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, retain the breath. Switch over the fingers so the left is open. 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3. Completely exhale the lungs. Inhale through the left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain the breath, switch the fingers over, opening the right. 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Completely exhale. Inhale through the right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain the breath. Switch the fingers over. Exhale left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain and switching the fingers over. 2, 1. Exhale through the right. 2. Completely exhale the lungs. Last time. Inhale right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Retaining the breath, switching the fingers over, keeping the body relaxed. Softening. Exhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Retaining the breath, switch the fingers, soften the body. And exhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Completely empty the lungs. Bring the right hand back to your right knee. Take a moment just to tune in with your Ujjayi ocean breath. So we're breathing into the belly. We're coming into a steady rhythm of breath that we can sustain throughout the class. And we're bringing that slight constriction into the throat, imagining you're pulling the front of the throat back towards the upper roof of your mouth to create that sound of the ocean as you breathe. If you want to, you can bring a hand to the belly just to check in that you're breathing into your diaphragm. Three more breaths. On your next inhale, opening the eyes. Bring the hands just behind you, shoulder width apart, and lift the chest, opening forward, looking up slightly, opening the front of the body. And as you exhale, bring those fingertips just forward and curve the spine, dropping the chin to the chest. And inhale back to the centre. Right hand just rests behind your right side. Inhale, breathe your left arm tall. Bring it over outside the right thigh and look over your right shoulder. Working with your breath. So inhale, grow tall. Exhale, looking round. Breathing 2. Last breath going to your maximum that feels safe for you. Releasing slowly back to the centre. Left hand just behind. Inhale, right fingertips lift and come outside your left thigh. Looking over your left shoulder. Remember, inhale, lift tall through your posture. Exhale, twist round. Really feeling that spinal twist. Working with your breath. One more breath, maybe coming to your maximum that feels safe. Releasing back to the centre. Good. Lean forward onto the hands and tuck those toes underneath so you can feel a nice stretch down the backs of the feet. Anytime this gets too uncomfortable, you can just tuck the toes under and point the toes. Resting the hands onto the thighs. You can sit the weight back a little bit to increase the stretch. And as you inhale, just let the head drop back, really soften the neck. And then again, keeping that neck soft, bring the chin down towards the chest. And inhale, lift up, head drops back. And release, exhale, chin to chest. And lift up, head drops back. And dropping chin down. One more time, head lifts, drops back. And bring that chin down to the chest. Holding here. One nice big slow neck roll all the way around to the right. So really keeping the neck soft. Head rolls round. Drops at the back, all the way back down to chin to chest. And we come over onto the left side, taking that slow head roll. All the way back, chin to chest. And release back to the centre. Leaning forward into the hands, we're in our tabletop position. Shoulders draw down the back, spread those fingers really nice and wide. We're just going to take a couple of rib rotations. So roll the ribs round in a circle. So you're pushing out to the side, moving for how feels good for your body. Coming through those cat and cow positions. So making sure we're curving and bending the spine, awakening the body. Our spine is the most important part of the body, so we're really looking after it, making sure we're releasing and trying to work out any of that tension that builds up, and making our way back to the centre. And we're going to rest back for a moment in our child's pose. Bring those toes together, take the knees slightly wider than the hips, sit back your way onto your heels. Maybe rock very gently side to side with the hips. That forehead rests onto the mat. And try to keep relaxed in your upper body and your arms. The hands are soft. And as you breathe, you might be able to feel the stomach move against the inner thighs. Two more breaths. And lift back up onto the hands. Spread the fingers nice and wide. And then step both feet back to a plank position. Good. Draw the shoulders down the back. Try to broaden your upper back. So imagine you're trying to get it back like a cobra snake. So you're widening the shoulder blades away from each other. And this really supports our back as we hold our plank position. Exhale, lift the hips, come find your downward facing dog. When you're here, just maybe walking out the legs if you feel you need to, being gentle with the hamstrings. And again, prioritising your spine. So if you need to, bend the knees a little more to lift the pelvis up, to extend your lower back. We're aiming for a straight line from the hands up to the hips. So again, just checking that you're not hyperextending at your shoulders. Taking deep belly breaths. Maybe give the head a shake just to soften the neck. And let's take 3 lion breaths just to really release from the body. So we're going to take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale with a big sigh, sticking the tongue out. And again, inhale. Last one. Good. And we're going to roll the back through to find our plank position and then continue the journey down with the hips. Hips lower to the floor, so we're finding an up dog but staying up on our toes, so we're not pointing the feet. Be careful just not to collapse in your lower back, so squeezing the bottom and lifting up. Shoulders stay down away from the ears. And we roll back, leading with the hips up through to our down dog. And we continue this movement, so nice and smoothly, rolling through to our high plank. Continue the hips all the way to your up dog. And just as you reach there, start your movement leading with the hips up back to your down dog. And again, rolling through nice and smoothly, hips dropping down. In your up dog this time, if you want to, you can just rock forward and back very slightly, only if it's comfortable on your back. Just keep the core engaged. Keep pushing actively through your hands. And exhale, lift back to your downward facing dog. Good. And we're going to drop the knees down, coming back to our tabletop position. And we're going to keep the toes tucked under for a bit of stability, warming up the wrists. So we're going to bring the middle fingers facing into the midline of the body. And then we're just going to rock in some slow circles. So we're trying to weight there all the way through the wrists, warming up. Fingers are really active, palms pressing down. Maybe changing direction now. Good. And release the hands just back to the centre. And you might need to sit your weight a little bit further back towards the heels for this one. But we're going to bring the middle fingers to face toward our knees now. And then this might be enough stretch for you down the backs of the wrists. But you can, if you want to get more stretch, lower your hips back towards your heels. Good, and release. Hands just come back to that neutral tabletop position. And we're going to press back to our plank position. Lift the hips up to downward facing dog. And start to float the feet forward, coming toward forward fold. Feet come together. And we're going to bend the knees a lot and lay the stomach on the thighs. Firstly, so our hands are on the floor, the chin is tucking toward the chest. And then begin to extend the legs. Thinking of lengthening the spine, so you will likely need to come up a little bit further. Feel the pelvis tilting up toward the ceiling, chest pushing toward the mat and the head pulling forward and away from the body. And now we're going to come to halfway lift, so head same height as hips. And exhale, lower down into your forward fold. That might be with hands on shins or on the floor. And again, inhale, lift halfway, and exhale, forward fold. Last time, inhale, lift halfway, exhale, forward fold. Remembering you're always keeping a soft bend in the knees, and the eye gaze is straight down toward the mat. Unless your chest is on your shins, then you're looking between the shins. And bend the knees, begin to roll up, unfolding vertebrae by vertebrae. Feel that lower back arm curl, middle, upper back, eventually shoulders rolling back and down into our samastiti. Thinking of our bandha. Our root lock, so feet are locking into the ground. You can lift the toes up and place the toes individually back down, little toes all the way to the big toe. Feeling grounded and locked into the earth. Energy from the earth draws up through your thighs. Thighs squeezing together like you're trying to hold a penny between the thighs. Bottom squeezing. If you feel you've got quite a curve in your lower back, then maybe thinking of tucking the tailbone under a little bit, just to straighten that spine. Our Mula Bandha drawing up through the pelvic floor, so imagine you go to the toilet and squeeze. And our Uddiyana Bandha, this little triangle sort of abdominal muscles, are zipping up back towards the spine and lifting up underneath the ribs to draw our body longer. So we're lengthening down and our energy is being pulled up at the same time. We're soft across the chest and the shoulders, Fingers actively drawing down to the earth. And we're still allowing that breath into the belly. The breath is like your music that you're moving to. So find that sustainable rhythm in your breath. Bringing yourself into the present moment, always guiding yourself back. Keeping your attention focused, keeping awareness. Inhale, lift both hands up over the head. And we're going to exhale, coming over toward the right side, pushing the hips out to the left into a side bend. Inhale, lift back to the center. Inhale, lift fingertips up. Exhale, over to the left side, push the hips out to the right. Inhale, lift up. Inhale, lift tall, and exhale, twisting to your right side of the body, maybe looking behind towards your right hand. Hips stay facing forward, opening the shoulders. Spinal twist. Inhale, both hands lift back up, come back to the center. Exhale, twisting towards your left side of the body, maybe looking back to the left fingers if it's comfortable on the neck. Shoulders down, fingers reaching apart from one another. And inhale, lift back, up over the head, coming to the center. Inhale, lift tall. Exhale, push the hips forward, come into a small back bend. Relax the head back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold, tilting from the hips, long spine. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back to high plank. And exhale, slowly lowering, Chaturanga Dandasana, elbows tucking in, straight line, broadening between the shoulder blades. And now gradually inhale, lift to cobra or up dog. Try not to collapse in your up dog, so lifting forward, squeezing the bottom, squeezing the belly in. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts to three-legged dog. Keep that right leg internally rotated, right foot flexed. And tuck that right knee forward toward the chest. Place that foot between the hands. Good. Lift the hands up over the head. Really extend your back leg. Squeeze the belly in. Shoulders down, fingertips reaching. Keep that lunge in your front leg. Inhale, leaning back. Open the arms and open the chest. Looking slightly up. And now we're going to bend so that back knee comes just off the floor. And then extend both legs and reach both arms back up over the head. Again, bend really low. Open the chest, look slightly up. Knee just off the floor. And then we inhale and lift. And again, bend. And inhale, extend. Good. Take hands to the heart, lunge forward. And now trying to keep our head at exactly the same level it is, we're going to shift our weight backwards, bending the back knee, extending the front leg. And inhale forward. Exhale, shift back, try and keep that head at the same height. And leaning forward. And last time, shifting back. And leaning forward. Good. Inhale, start to rotate toward the right side of the body. Lower the left elbow just outside your right knee. And then maybe thinking to take your bind here. So that's the left hand coming under that right knee towards your stomach. And the right hand coming behind. If you haven't got your bind here, that's okay. Keep in your twisted prayer. Now take your eye gaze down to the mat just by your right foot. Start to transfer your weight onto your right foot and see if you can step your left foot together towards the front of the mat. Now gradually transfer weight onto the left foot and begin to see if you can lift up, keeping your hands just where they are, still in your spinal twist, And then as you're lifted, start to extend that right leg. 2, 1, gradually, slowly down. Right foot comes to the mat. Shift the weight onto the right foot, release that left foot, and step back again into that low lunge. Good. Release the hands to an open twisted lunge. Open up to reverse sun warrior. Right fingertips toward your back leg. Left arm creating that C shape with the spine. Good. Exhale, windmill the arms down toward the mat. Exhale, releasing that right foot back to one-legged Chaturanga Dandasana. Place the right toes on top of your left Achilles. 3 press-ups here. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, lift. And 2, lower down. Inhale, lift. Last one, lower down. Inhale, lift. Good, release the right foot. Come back to your plank position. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Good. Right leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Come and step through between the hands. Open to your warrior 2 position to the side. Open up those shoulders, make sure the left hip drops down, so it's level with your right hip. Good. Now flexing the hands, we're going to come to a low goddess squat position. So both knees bent, facing out to the side, hips lowering down, nice and tall through your posture. Hands interlaced behind the head. Good. So we lean, bringing our right elbow to our right knee, and lift back up. Left elbow to left knee, and lift back up. 2 more sets. Right knee, and lift. Stay sitting low. Left knee, and lift. Back to right, and lift. Left, and lift. And now we come to our right side. Bring the right hand inside the right ankle. Left fingertips lift up to the ceiling. Hold 5. Stay low in your seat. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the hands back up over the head. Interlace the fingers. Push the palms up to the ceiling. See if you can lift up onto those toes. And sit low. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hands. Bring the toes to face inward slightly and start to lower down to a wide leg forward fold. Careful not to sway back into the heels. Come halfway. Take a new inhale. Exhale, either bringing the hands to the shins or onto the mat. You do have the option here to go into a tripod stand if you want to. So that's bringing the flat top part of the head onto the mat, visualising that triangle with the hands and the head. And then we lift those feet up off the mat. If you want to, try going into pike, so bringing the feet not at a 90-degree right angle, and then you can try tapping the toes down onto the floor and lifting back up to 90. 2 more times, tap down and lift up to 90. Last time, tap down, lift up to 90. Take back to wide-legged, back to your wide-legged forward fold. Reaching those hands over the head, coming up on an inhale. Keep the weight even between the balls and heels of the feet. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, twisting to the top of your mat. Windmill the arms down and step back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower down. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down facing dog. Good. Now roll through to your high plank. Lower down Chaturanga Dandasana. Now lift back up to high plank and back to your down dog. Again, roll through to high plank, down to low plank, hold, back to high plank, down dog. Last time, roll through to plank, exhale, lower down. Last time, lift back to high plank, exhale, down dog. 3 breaths here before we come onto the second side for our flow. Maybe give that head a shake to soften the neck. Come back to that rhythm of your breath. Left leg lifts to 3-legged dog. Tuck that knee forward into the chest. Place the foot between the hands. Inhale, lift the hands up over the head. Extending your back leg. Now inhale, open the chest, bringing the arms back, looking up slightly, and then bend your back knee so it's just off the mat. Inhale, extend the arms and extend both legs. Exhale, bend the arms, open the chest, back knee down to the mat. Inhale, extend the arms, extend the legs. Last time, bend. Inhale, lift and extend. Hands to heart, come back to your lunge. Now visualize that head staying at the same height. You're really bending into your front leg. And we start to extend the front leg, bend the back leg. And leaning forward and back. Extending that front leg. And again, bending the front leg, coming forward. Last time, bend back leg, extend front leg. And lean forward. Coming into our twisted prayer. Twist round to the left side of the body. And then gradually lower right elbow outside that left thigh. Either keeping your hands and your upper body here or coming into that bind. Right hand comes down. Left hand continues behind the back. Holding the hands into a bind. Now look just outside your left foot on the mat. Start to transfer your weight forward, stepping that back foot in toward the top of the mat. Transfer the weight onto your right foot. Gradually lift your left leg up. Maybe start to extend that left leg. If it feels comfortable, keep that spinal twist. And gradually bend in, slowly come down, left toe finds the mat, transfer onto your left foot, release that right foot to step back to that low lunge, release the arms, open twisted lunge, reverse sun warrior, inhale, lift back left, fingertips to your back leg, right arm reaching, making that C shape with the spine. Good. Exhale, windmill the hands down to the mat. Step back to a one-legged chaturanga. So left foot stays up and places on top of your right Achilles. 3 press-ups here. Keeping those elbows tucked in. Slowly lower the chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Release that left foot, place it back onto the mat. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Left leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Step through between the hands. Open up to a warrior 2 to face the side. Checking that right hip stays level with the left. Flexing the hands, come to your goddess squat position, knees pressing out to the side, hips tucking under, lifting through your chest. That back up, nice and straight. Hands interlaced behind the head, drop the left elbow to left knee, and release up. To the right, and lift. 2 more sets. Left elbow to left knee, and lift, and right, and lift. Last time, left and lift, right and lift. Left hand comes inside the left ankle, right fingertips lift up, open through the body. 4, 3, 2, stay low in your seat. 1, interlace the fingers over the head, press the palms up to the ceiling, sit low, maybe come up onto your tiptoes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hands. Now bringing those toes inward, coming down on an exhale to our wide leg forward fold. So come halfway, take another inhale, exhale all the way down, hands either to your shins or to the mat. You can either hold that wide leg forward fold or come with me to a tripod stand. So the flat top of the head is on the mat as the top of the triangle, and your hands are the base of the triangle. Using your core, lift those legs up slowly to a wide leg, and then maybe bringing the toes in front of you to pike position. Then you can lower the toes to the floor and lift back up. 2, lower and lift up. 1, lower and lift up. Back to wide leg. Feet come down to the mat. Inhale, reach the hands up. Another inhale, lift all the way. Good. Exhale, windmill the hands down to the mat. Step back to a high plank, holding here. And exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog, lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Holding here for a few breaths. Now start to walk your hands back to the bottom of the mat, towards your feet, coming to a forward fold, Paschimottanasana. You can hold your big toes here if you want to, with your middle and index finger, so that you've got a bit of leverage. Think of those hips lifting high, and on your exhales, folding forward. Try to feel a bit of a release in the upper body. A moment just to come back to that quiet mind, listening to the music of your breath, seeing if you can steady your breathing, just checking that you're still belly breathing rather than breathing into your chest. Let that head just hang heavy. 3 more breaths. Enjoying that heat that's fired up. Enjoying that movement in the body. Embracing the physical challenge. And knowing that we're doing it all whilst being present. Listening to what our body needs. Being kind to ourselves. And begin to walk your hands forward, come into a high plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, look between the hands, step or fly forward to Uttanasana. And inhale, sweep the hands across the mat, lift to a chair pose. Sit the weight back into the heels, hips sticking out behind you. Squeezing that belly in. Hands come to the heart. Twist towards the right side of the body and bring that left elbow just outside that right knee. And now holding here, with the upper body in the same position, take your eye gaze down to the mat. See if you can lift the weight onto the right foot and lift the left foot off the mat. Bring that left foot behind you, and you can either tap down on the mat behind you or keep the leg lifted. And bring the leg back into the top of the mat. Again, either tap down or keep the leg up. Again, press back, extend the leg behind you. And bring it in. 3 more. Press behind, tap down whenever needed. And bring it in. 2, back. Bring it in. Last 1, extend back. Bring it in. Either hold your chair pose in the centre or practice your side crow from here. So side crow, bringing those hands down to the mat, leaning into the hands, creating a shelf with the elbows, maybe extending your right leg forward, left leg back and up. Gradually come back to your side chair pose. Twisted prayer. And bring those hands back to the centre. Inhale, Namaskarasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or fly back, high plank. 3 press-ups here. Lower and lift. 2, lower and lift. 1. And Vinyasa. Exhale, down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, step or fly to the top of the mat. Sweep the hands against the mat, lifted chair pose. Bring those hands to your heart. Twist over to your left side. Bring that elbow outside that left knee. Looking down to the mat, transfer the weight onto your left foot, release the right foot and extend back. Either tap down behind or keep it lifted and bring it in. Again, either tap down or keep lifted and 4. Extend and in. 3. Extend and in. 2. Last 1. Extend. Bring it back to your chair, still in twist. Option to come to your side crow here. So palms come down first, those fingers are spread. Transfer the weight onto that shelf you've made with the elbows. Left leg could extend forward and right leg back. 2, 1. Make the way slowly back to your twisted chair. Hands back to the centre. Inhale, Namaskarasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step and float back. And 3 press-ups here. Lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And Vinyasa. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Good. 3 breaths. Now bring those knees down to the mat. Toes together. Sit back in your child's pose. 3 breaths there. Grab a sip of water if you need to. Meeting in our child's pose. One more breath. Lift back up to that tabletop position. Step those feet back to a high plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, step or fly forward. Inhale, Namaskarasana. And from here, we're going to take a back bend. So inhale, lift the fingertips tall, and exhale, lower back. Keep that neck soft. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or fly back, high plank. Exhale, lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Good. We're going to just come into some core exercises. So we're going to lift that right leg up to three-legged dog. You might want to watch the first one. We're going to be bringing the right knee through, taking the right leg out to the left side of the body, keeping the foot hovered off the floor, and then we bring it back to three-legged dog. 9 more. Leaning forward, twisting that foot to the left, keeping it off the floor, and release back. Three-legged dog. 8, twist round to the left. Exhale, three-legged dog. 7, twist in the core. Try to keep the hips so you're really twisting in the spine. Three-legged dog. 6, twist. Feel the obliques twisting. And back, three-legged dog. 5, halfway. And back. 4. Keep that foot off the floor if you can. Three-legged dog. 3. And back. 2. And back. Last one. And back. Join the feet down to plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. We're coming over to our second side. So we're lifting the left leg up. And lean forward, twist. Foot goes out to the right side. And back to three-legged dog. 9, twist. And back. 8. Try to keep that foot really lifted off the floor. And back. 7. And back. 6. And back. 5. We're halfway. Keep that strength in your core. Keep that twist going. 4. And back. 3. And back. 2. Try to keep breathing steadily into your belly. Back. Last one. And back. Join those feet together. High plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Good. And we're going to bring those hands, making sure they're shoulder width apart, practicing our hurdler pose. So inhale, lift right leg, three-legged dog. Now bring the right thigh to your right shoulder. Tuck the left elbow into upper body and see if you can lift that left leg off. 3, 2, 1. Jump back vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Again, hurdler pose on the next side. Left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Left thigh comes to left shoulder. Right elbow tucks into your right side. Maybe lifting right foot off. 3, 2, 1. Jump back vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Breathing 3. Breathing 2. 1. Roll forward to a high plank. Come down onto those elbows. Make a little triangle with the hands. So thumbs are together at the point. Fingers spread. Now push back into a Dolphin Down Dog. So the hips are lifted, feet are together, hips lift high. And we're going to be right up on the toes on the back feet. So we're pushing the chest through the shoulders, trying to open the front of the body. And now we're going to roll forward. See if we can lower our chest toward the thumbs And then we press back. Good. Really open the chest. Inhale, roll forward, chest to thumbs. Exhale, push back. Hips lifting high. 8 more. Roll forward. Exhale, lift back. 7. Roll forward. Get that straight line of the body. Exhale, back. 6. Push and open the chest. 5. And back. Inhale, 4. And exhale, back. 3. Open that chest. Feel the shoulders stretch. 2 forward and back. Last one. Exhale, back. Good. Lift back up onto those arms. Bring those knees down to the floor, so we're in a tabletop position. Okay. We're going to come to a floating tabletop. So the knees lift up off the floor. Hands are still shoulder width apart, shoulders drawing down the back. Now we bring our right leg out toward our left side. The left arm reaches up and the hips drop toward the mat. And then we come back to our floating tabletop. And left leg goes out to the right side, right arm lifts, and back to our tabletop. 8 more. Right leg left side, left arm lifts. Keep it all slow and controlled. Left leg right side, and back. Right leg left side, and back. Left leg right side, and back. Right leg left side, nice and slow, and back. Left leg right side, and back. One more set. Right leg, and back. Left leg right side, and back. Good. Drop those knees down. Take a nice child's pose. 3 breaths. Pacing your breath. Lift back up onto the hands. Step back to a high plank. Exhale back to downward facing dog. And we're going to bring those feet together. Come up onto the toes. Walk a little bit further toward your hands. Take your hands really wide, so they're much wider than your shoulders, sort of the distance of your yoga mat. And as we press down, our head's going to come toward the mat and our elbows are going right out to the side this time, like a pike press up. So we're trying to keep all our weight in our hands, so that's why we're right up on the toes, so we're pushing our weight forward. 10 of these. Exhale, lower down, head might just tap the mat or just come near it and lift up. 9, make sure those elbows go out to the side and lift up. 8, down and lift up. 7, down and lift up. 6, down and lift. 5, down and lift. 4, lift. 3, up, and 2, up, and 1. Good. Release back to a normal downward facing dog. And we're going to jump through the hands or just step the feet in. Just coming to sit cross-legged. Good. I'm just going to straighten up my mat. Always comes to twist. Okay. So, bringing the legs out in front of you in our staff pose. Just wiggle on the hips a little bit so you're sitting on those sitting bones underneath you. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, lower down over the legs. Inhale, lift the arms up over the head, all the way. Exhale, lower down onto your back. Good. So you might need to tuck the hips underneath you a little bit. Just make sure that you can feel the whole length of your spine along the floor. The spine's really long. Hands come up over the head in a namaste and they stay off the floor. And we bring those legs up to 90 degrees. And we press actively the lower back into the mat and squeeze the belly button in. And we lower the legs so that they're coming just off the floor. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower them down, let them rest onto the floor. As we bring the right arm up straight in front of our right shoulder, the left knee comes up to 90-degree angle. And then we release back. Opposite side, right knee, left arm, and release back. The hands stay lifted off the floor behind the head. Left knee lifts, right arm, and release back. And switch. And back. And 6. And back. 5. And back. 4. 3. 2. And 1. From here, lift up to your boat pose. Either bending the knees or extending the legs. Really open the chest. Lift the arms up. Twist to your right side, so both hands scoop round to the right and to the left. And to the right and the left. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now slowly lower arms and legs down toward the floor, but try not to let them touch. And lift back up to boat. 9, lower. And lift up. 8, lower. And lift back up. 7, lower. And lift. 6, lower. And lift. 5, lower. And lift. 4, down. Lift, try to straighten the back. Lower. And lift. Last one. Down. And up. If you want to, hold those ankles. Bring the legs up. See if you can bring your head towards your shins. Release the legs down to the floor, either crossing the legs or having the legs straight out in front of you in staff pose. See if you can lift your way up onto the hands. You can use 2 blocks if you want to. And see if you can hold for 3 counts. Good. Lovely. Cross the legs, leaning forward over onto the hands. Step or jump back to a high plank. Lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Good. And we're just going to come into some hip and back stretches now. Right leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Step that right foot forward between the hands. Try to line up your right knee with your right ankle. Allow the left knee to drop down and rest here. And then if you want to, come into a lizard pose. So you can either stay up on the hands or you can drop down onto the elbows. And if that right knee comes out to the right side a little bit, then that's okay. You can allow it to naturally go out. And then from here, either staying here and breathing or coming to your splits position. Breathing and working with your breath to try and relax the body in your stretches so you're not resisting, or allowing yourself to be. 3, 2, 1. Coming back to that lizard pose if you're in your splits. Lift up onto the hands and lift up onto the toe with your back leg so you're in a runner's lunge. And we're going to transfer our weight forward and lift the back leg into a standing splits. And so we're really actively trying to lift the leg here. So this is basically an active hip stretch. You're trying to lift, working those hip flexors, bringing the head down towards your shin. And then if you want to, you can try bringing your right hand to your right ankle and then the left hand onto the right leg as well, onto your right calf. And release that leg back to a lunge. Step back into a high plank, slowly lowering down, vinyasa. Exhale, back to your down dog. Left leg lifts, three-legged dog. And we step through between the hands, lining up that left knee with left ankle, coming down to the knee with your right leg, your back leg. And then maybe coming to your lizard pose, coming down onto the forearms, onto the elbows. Resting here for a moment, allowing that left knee to naturally flop out to the side if it is. Grounding that right hip flexor forward and down. And then maybe if you want to, coming into the splits if it's part of your practice. Really working with your breath. Sometimes the muscles go into protective mode and they tense up to resist the stretch. But you're in control of your body, so you can tell your body that it's safe to relax. You don't need to tense up the face. If it is uncomfortable, just remind yourself that it's temporary and that you can breathe your way through it and keep a calm mind. Two more breaths. And start to use your hands to lift your way back to that lizard pose. And then lift up to a runner's lunge, so you're up onto your toe. Lean your weight forward into your left foot, lift that back leg, come to standing splits. So you're actively lifting that right leg up. You want your weight quite forward over your left foot. You're leaning into your hands. And then if you want to bring that left hand to your left calf, then maybe your right hand joins, but take it really slow. Okay, step back to your runner's lunge and step back to a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down facing dog. Good. Roll through to your high plank. Begin to lower yourself down onto your stomach. Going to come into some back stretches. So you can do this alternate legs at a time if you want to. If you feel comfortable, we're going to hold those outside of the ankles. We're going to try not to let the legs splay out to the side too much. Keep the shoulders open and wide. And we're going to inhale, press the ankles into the hands and lift the chest. And here you can rock a little bit if you want to. When you're ready, exhale, gradually lower down. Good. Now here's an opportunity just to try a more intense back bend if you want to. I would say you want to be really confident in that bow pose and in your wheel pose and other deep back bends before you give this a go. So either do exactly the same of what we just did. If you want to try, I'm going to demonstrate coming into a chin stand and then into your scorpion pose. It's better if you've got a teacher there with you, but if you've done this chin stand and this scorpion pose before, then there's an opportunity to go. Or if you've got someone in the room with you that's quite an advanced practitioner, then they might be able to support you as well. So for me, I like to start in our plank, and then I lift my hips a little bit higher. Make sure my hands are lined up shoulder width apart, and I'm really pressing into my hands, and I'm keeping the elbows tucking in towards my body as I lower my chest between the hands, press the chin onto the mat and lift my legs. Then start to lower your chest and bring the legs over. Gradually lift back to a chin stand. There for a moment, and then I would lift up into a tabletop, and to release I would slowly lower into my child's pose. So again, if you're not giving that a go, stay practicing your bow pose. You've got to allow your neck to remain really soft, and also really use your arms, your biceps and your shoulder muscles to hold you there as well. Okay, so that's just something fun to give a go. So crossing the legs, we're just going to sit back onto the bottom and lie onto our backs. And we're going to try our wheel pose. Okay, so let's take those feet hip width apart. Just check in that your feet and knees and hips are all aligned and going straight forward, and we don't want the knees to splay out to the side. So again, this is for if you're quite confident in your back bend. If you'd like to, you can do your bridge pose, keeping the shoulders down and lifting the hips. If you're doing a wheel, we're going to bring our hands to just outside the ears onto the mat, nice and firm. And our elbows are pointing up toward the ceiling, and we firstly lift up onto the head. Make sure we've got our hands in the right position, and then we lift up. And firstly, we can aim to try and straighten the legs and really bring the shoulders through in line with our wrists, opening the chest. If you want a little bit more, a fun variation, you can bring your elbows down to the mat, so just line the thumbs up with one another and gently drop onto the elbows, and then you can point the feet away, and it's really nice for opening the shoulders. From there you can either relax down and roll onto the mat, or you can walk back up onto the hands if you wanted to, back to your wheel, holding for a few breaths, and then make your way back to your head first, and then rolling down onto your back. Here we take the feet together, soles of the feet up to the ceiling, and we let the knees drop out to the side. Just releasing that back. If you want to use the hands to just press on the top of the thighs where the hips are. And you should feel an extension in the lower back. Good. And release the hands. Bring those knees together. Lift yourself up to sitting. Cross the legs. Rock forward onto the knees. And we're going to finish with either a headstand, your forearm stand or your handstand, so you can work on whatever whatever you're doing in your practice at the moment. I'm going to talk through a headstand, and I would say whichever inversion you're doing, just try to hold it for as long as you can safely so that you're really getting the benefits of being upside down and getting the blood flow to the brain. So we're coming to our child's pose, and then we're lifting up so the weight comes onto the elbows. We're going to touch each hand, wrapping the fingers around each elbow, and that's how we know our arms are shoulder distance apart. And then we're interlacing the fingers, both little fingers line up against the mat, and the thumbs press up so that they can press into the back of the head, and the very top flat part of the head comes onto the mat, and the crown of the head comes into the hands. And then we actively draw the shoulders away from the ears and press the elbows into the mat. Lift up onto the toes, walk the toes as far as you can in toward you so the hips are as high as you can, and make sure you're still pressing the elbows into the mat and drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Then just bend one knee in at a time. You can keep the knees bent, or you can keep just touching one foot at a time back onto the mat. If you feel safe, you can always do this against the wall. You can start to lift the legs, and we can hold. Try to see if you can count 25 breaths. Then you get all the benefits of that blood flow to the brain. Just keep really strong, engaging your core, squeezing the bottom, toes pointing up to the ceiling, and remembering to breathe. Try not to hold the breath. Make sure you keep active in the shoulders, so you don't want to put too much weight through the head. When you come back, you can either come through pike, so lowering with straight legs, or you can bend the knees. Release nice and slowly. Good. We're going to come into our Shavasana. So rolling onto your back. You can, if you want to, rest the hands over the stomach, or you can have the hands wide out by your side with the palms facing up. Maybe tuck the hips under a little bit to feel that whole length of the back against the mat. And the feet are quite wide apart as well, to allow the hips to open, flop out to the side. When you feel in a comfortable position, softly close the eyes. And now is the time to allow your body to let go and relax. We've really energized and activated the body. Now is the time to completely let go and just surrender to the mat. Simply just observing the breath as a focus point. Thoughts will naturally float in and out of the mind, but just allow them to flow back out just as easily as they come in. Choosing not to become involved and to draw your attention back to your breath. Scanning through the body just to see if there's any way of tensing. Maybe the muscles in your core, the abdominal muscles, might still be squeezing. Just allow them to release with every exhale. as you allow your body to relax and be still. Mind might start to become more still, might feel more clarity, and as each muscle and each joint releases and lets go, you might feel like you start to just drift above your mat, feeling light and feeling peaceful. Breathing in relaxation and breathing out tension from the body. And before we begin to move, take a moment to feel love and kindness flow through your body. Feel this wholeheartedly, appreciating yourself for this practice and doing something good for your mind and body. And then use this feeling to send love and kindness out into the world, to others in your life, and to those in need. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. And very gently start to just move the toes and fingers, bringing ease, movement back into your body. Maybe roll the head side to side, just softening the neck. If you want to take a stiff Shavasana, you can, just reaching the hands up over the head and pointing the toes away from you, reaching the body long, and then keeping the eyes closed. Just gradually in your own time, roll onto the right side of the body, curling into the fetal position, and resting here for a moment. Again, trying to keep the eyes closed. Softly lift yourself to a sitting position, feeling the sitting bones beneath you, a gentle lift through your posture, resting the hands on the knees, melting those shoulders down the back, extending and lengthening through the back of the neck, breathing into the stomach. And just taking a moment to reflect on how you feel compared to the beginning of practice. Maybe something you were stressed about that doesn't seem as heavy or worrying anymore. Or maybe some physical tension that you've managed to let go of, or an area that feels softer. And draw the hands to the heart, pressing the thumbs into the chest. Softly bow the head down. And inhale, open the eyes. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the practice. And if you have any questions at all, then please feel free just to get in touch with me. Thank you.